Good evening, guys. Colts versus Lions wrap up, instant reaction. Just wanted to hop on here, have a chance to kind of chat with you guys about, just quick thoughts in this final game. It means so much to everybody. Obviously, these guys were fighting for their NFL life. So as a fan, as a football nerd, I absolutely love this part of the whole process. It's the last chance for everybody to get out there and kind of show themselves and show out. Want to start from the very beginning, things I liked, things I didn't like, things I liked. Seeing Carson Wentz, how about that, man? Warming up pregame, getting out there, working up a sweat, throwing the football around, super encouraging. I also really how can we not sit here and be excited about our first round draft pick, Kwity Paye? I mean, all over the field. That doesn't just include the strip sack. I mean, that includes him, flying to the ball, being active. He looks like a guy, and you could definitely tell his talent level against the players that he went against today was just a whole different level, man. I mean, he was pushing those guys back. One thing that was the big question for Paye was, could he convert speed to power? And I think he's answered that. I think he completely has rectified any of those questions. Colts Nation, you should be fired up about Kwity Paye, no doubt about it. I thought Mike Strahan, I thought he had a pretty good game. He had a couple highly contested balls. I wish he could have got the one in the end zone. That was a little bit rough. Other than that, Desmond Patman did have a really nice grab before he went down with that knee injury. Sam Ehlinger kind of pivoted, switched around, avoided that sack, and made something out of nothing, really. And really was our most explosive play, other than the late Deion Jackson run for the touchdown. I think it was a 43-yarder. Not a lot to like about with the offensive line, though, right? Like the offensive line, this is a problem. And as we cut down, and as we kind of whittle this down, I'm going to use the next 48 hours in my mind to kind of predict this final 53. My thought process is pretty simple. This offensive line needs help. I'm not sure that we keep, I think in my mind we keep 9 guys, and I'm not sure we have those 9 on our active roster right now. I wouldn't be real surprised if there's a camp casualty, a veteran, a guy who's going to come in and willing to be a backup, to just have a body a little more consistent, especially with those really good football teams that just have so much talent there already. Sometimes you can kind of go out there, and we got to believe in Chris Ballard, Ed Dodds, and that whole team of scouting. I mean, they've got their eyes wide open. Another position that everybody wanted to talk about was a wide receiver position. I thought it was a little bit interesting that Strawn didn't really come out as early as Patman. He didn't play as many sets, but he played a lot at the very end. They tried them both on special teams. Patman, for me, I think the one thing that he probably needed to do more than even catch the football today was perform on special teams, and he didn't do very well, in my opinion. He didn't have a great special teams guy. That's no knock on him. That's just, if you're looking to pick between him and Doolin, this is why Ashton Doolin has, in my opinion, will be the 6th wide receiver selected on this team. We'll do a reveal of the final 53. Steven and I might even have a special guest Sunday night. That's going to be a real fun thing to go through. Going to have to monitor some of these injuries, right? Like Sam Ehlinger. How bad is that knee? Is that just something that just kept him out of the game, or did he really hurt himself? And a few guys, Sam Tevi got hurt in this game. He went down with the knee. It didn't look good. Had to get on there. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Sam Tevi was going to make this football team anyways. And this probably doesn't help. I mean, maybe he gets reverted to IR, and then just kind of they fill a spot anyways. I don't think it's a big deal. Banagoo. Still had some pretty good pressure moments. He missed that huge opportunity to get a sack there in that red zone, late in the second quarter, right before halftime. And that's Banagoo, man. I mean, he played incredible last week. But he'll have lapses, and that's just something you got to take with him. I think Banagou's done enough to make this football team through training camp and in the preseason. I think he will be on this team. He'll be one of the guys that I call out on the final 53. That secondary, if there's another position that I feel like that maybe is not finished and no one really went out there and grabbed it all the way around, I think there's a possibility that you see a late guy come in, maybe off another roster or something like that, to kind of shore up, a depth signing. I'm not talking about a starter. I'm talking about a depth signing to add to that cornerback room, especially. Both of the Davises played. I don't think either one of them, to me, did anything to guarantee that job. Jordan Glasgow, he's kind of a weird guy. He's such a core special teamer. And Chris Ballard, we know he values that special team position so much. And he made some really nice plays. I mean, he was just kind of read and react. But he made some really nice downhill plays. Probably is going to solidify him as, in my opinion, the sixth linebacker, just because of his special teams ability. And we want to have a great, solid special teams all the way around, kicking, covering, all of it, punting, kickoff, which we did. I thought Hot Rod has had an incredible. I mean, he needs to be, mentioned. He's had an incredible training camp, offseason. He has missed a field goal. I mean, guys, come on. I mean, the guy has not missed a field goal, and he's more accurate. You can just tell when he kicks the ball. He's much more accurate as that goes. Other than that, there wasn't a lot to like, especially on defense. I thought some of the guys in the trenches were fighting for the job. I wanted to see Chris Williams play a little bit more. He had some moments. He had some lapses as well. Brown, Stallworth. We'll have to see. I'm really going to etch out. Those are fringe guys. Sachere. I think he makes the football team just because of his versatility. Another guy that I think did not help himself at all is Marvell Tell. I don't see it, man. I mean, maybe it happens if we don't go out there and we can't find another solution. But for me, I don't see it with Marvell Tell. He doesn't look like an NFL cornerback. He just looks a little bit lost and out of place for me. And a little bit of a concerning situation with Granson coming out of college, some drops, some mental lapses. You can definitely see that in his NFL game and in his approach. He's a real good athlete, but sometimes he gets going so fast, he forgets to tuck that ball away. You'd like to see that a little bit better. I thought Tariq Black is definitely a special team stash type of guy. LeMay, I mentioned Jackson earlier, guys who could probably be reverted back to the special teams. Bolton had a nice interception. He might find his way onto the special teams. I could do Muhammad, solid. He's just one of those guys that just plays really well, but you never talk a whole lot about him. And I always try to mention him because if you love football, you love guys who play so sound with that technique. I did think he played pretty well in this football game. Colts win. Colts go 3-0 in this preseason, first time in a very long time. But we all know these games don't matter. And fortunately, next time we have a wrap up, we'll be talking about Week 1 against Seattle at home, Lucas Oil Stadium, and we'll be talking about a meaningful football game. And just wanted a quick shout out to you guys on YouTube. Like, rate, review, subscribe. We're just so thankful for what you guys have done for us. We ask you to join the family, and that's what you've done. You've joined the family. And it's so cool to interact with just new people. I feel like I get a new person every single day. It's really cool, man. I think it's Bill Koloski. I hope I'm saying his name properly, but he subscribed today. He mentioned it on there. I thought that was super, super awesome. I'm excited, man. I'm excited about this football season. I'm excited about doing this with you guys and having you a part of these shows, all of these live streams. And, hey, it's Final 53. Let's see where Carson's at. Let's see where Quentin's at. Let's see where Eric Fisher is at in his rehab. And then let's just take a moment to digest what we got right in front of us before it is ready to go. Live bullets, and we're going to get to see all of these guys that we've kind of been waiting for ever since we've had that bad taste in our mouth since that Bills playoff game, and it's time to climb that journey again. So, guys, thanks again so much for being a part of this podcast, and